Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. We have Mark here from NVU. He is the CEO and founder of NVU, which is New Vintage USA. They make a bunch of awesome gauge kits for multiple vehicles. We have the 73 to 79 Ford F100 gauge kit with us. Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, thanks for having me. So what really makes our gauge kits different for 73 to 79 F100 is we're completely changing the way the dash looks, and actually pretty easily. So if you go out there and look at your truck, if you remember, it has the 3 square holes with the rectangular gauges in it. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to completely change the look of that. So our kit includes the mounting bracket and the gauges, so you can pick any gauge style you want. We have, I believe there's 12 or 14 different styles you can choose from depending on what's going on that time of year. It's kind of seasonal. And we use our gauge kit, it's made out of our in-house ABS CNC cut. It mounts in the factory location, and we include these, so you buzz out the little standoffs, then we include all these trim pieces that go back in there, so you get a seamless look, completely changes the look, creates a more modern, more performance-oriented style for your dash, and then all the gauges operate in a modern way.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm actually a huge fan of how this looks. I mean, the style's there, it's not too in your face, but it has everything you need too. Now, as far as installing one of those goes, I mean, how easy is that process? Because a lot of the times, somebody who's new to wiring, this can be a pretty overwhelming job to do. So why don't you walk us through a little bit of how the install works?
Okay, well, as far as the actual gauge and bracket goes, it just goes in the same place as your factory cluster. Pull the old one out, put our kit in, bolt it in, that's all set. Now, as far as the wiring goes, we've tried to make it as easy as possible, and I'll show you on the back here. What we've got here is this is our Phoenix direct drive, and what we've done is in the old days, with the traditional gauge kit, you'd have to go power, ground, light, signal, power, ground, light, signal, power, for all those. You'd have to tie them all together, create a harness, plug that into your vehicle. Or there's some places that use a box or a module, you wire up to the box, you hook the box up to this, and then that all works, and that's fine. What we've done is we've eliminated both of those things. We've built all of the controlling software and hardware into the speedometer and tachometer. You wire those two up by color. Red is power, black is ground, white is lights, etc., etc. Then you just plug the 2 1/16 inch gauges into the correct ports, and you're done. It's that easy. And then if you ever need to pull this out to make an adjustment or something, all you need to do is unplug these 2 plugs and it comes apart. So we've really tried to make it very, very simple to bolt this in, wire it up, and then you're going to get a completely different look with all kinds of new functions.
So the install process is obviously super easy. Now, as far as when you go ahead and purchase one of these kits, what are you all going to get in one?
We try and make our kits all, include all the parts that you need. So it'll come with the wiring harnesses, it'll come with the bushings for your senders, it'll come with the temp sender and pressure sender, and the back clamps and instruction manual how to install them. The fuel gauge is going to be a factory match, 73 to 10. What that means is it's 73 ohms empty, 10 ohms full, and it's electronically dampened, so you won't get that fuel gauge wobbling all over the place. In the event that you have a different fuel tank or a dual tank or a fuel cell, the fuel gauges are all programmable to virtually any range possible. The only thing you may or may not need, depending on your application, is you may need a speed sender, which CJ carries all of our speed senders. Very easy to install and wire up.
Well, I don't think you can get any more simpler than that. I mean, you guys provide everything in the kit and the install is easy, so what more could you really want? Now, technology is obviously advancing a lot in our days now. So as far as the features go with these gauges, what's going to be involved with yours?
Our goal, number 1, is make them look cool. Number 2, they try to make them install and function right. Now to do that, we use our Phoenix direct drive technology, and we've packed a lot of features into these. And what we've done is we use this platform for all of our products. We use it on our aftermarket line, our DoD products, commercial products. So everybody's getting, all of our aftermarket customers are getting the same technology and parts that we're shipping to our OE and military customers. So we've incorporated turn signals, high beam, and other indicators into the gauges. We've got sequential shift alert. We've got settable odometer mileage, so you can set your odometer to whatever mileage your vehicle is, so you don't have to check that odometer box on your title. So we've got 3 auxiliary inputs. You can actually display 3 more gauges on these mini OLED screens. So if you want to run a trans temp or something like that, like you're towing, all you need to do is install one of our senders, wire it up, turn it on on the screen, and you've got a temp gauge without any boxes, modules, drivers. There's a lot more packed into here. You may or may not need it all, but it's there if you need it. And I think that that's what we do really well, is we do a package that looks good, performs well, with all the features that you'll actually use, and that's all based on customer feedback we've gotten over the last 20 years.
Well, you guys have definitely succeeded in that department. Now, another thing that I think is really cool about these gauge kits is the fact that they are made in the US.
Yes, actually, our factory's in Detroit. We do all the design assembly there. The only thing we don't do in our factory is we don't do stamping or injection molding. We just don't have the room for it there. There are a couple other little things that we don't actually build at our shop, but anything that we do need to outsource, it is done in town. So, or in the Metro Detroit area. So we not only try and keep it in the US, we try and keep it in Detroit. We do all the screen printing. I think we're the only instrument manufacturer in the United States that designs and screen prints all the dials in-house.
Oh, wow.
We screen print them all, we laser cut all our boxes, we CNC cut and manufacture all of our brackets, we calibrate and program all of our gauges in-house. And what we've done is we've learned over the past few years that we really need to keep as much as we can, control over so that we don't run into supply issues or quality issues. This way we're in full control of the entire product process.
Now, if you guys are looking for a gauge kit that not only looks good, but is going to function just as well, then head over to cjponyparts.com and pick you up an NVU gauge kit for either your Ford or many other vehicles, because they make a ton of these gauge kits for all types of vehicles. Like I said, head over to our website to find out all about them.